Hey bookish besties, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Leesh and you're reading with me. Welcome. Thank you for clicking on this video. Obviously, if you have, you know that today we are going over what I read in January as my wrap up, my very first wrap up here on BookTube. So I'm so excited to be bringing you the books that I read in January. I think January is one of those months where everybody just picks out the best books. They're so excited to get onto their reading goals for 2023 and just smash it out of the park. I don't feel like mine was too much of an exception. I feel like I picked some really good books and I'm excited to share them with you. But before we do, if you're new here and you like bookish content, do click the subscribe button. It really helps out. There'll be plenty more book videos to share with me along the way. So I hope you are becoming one of my besties today. Anyway, we're going to get straight into it, and I started off the year strong. My first book was 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. I was warned and warned and warned that this book would destroy me, and it did. When I think of this book, I think of the pain in your chest when you go for a run and it's cold outside, but you're hot on the inside and it burns, because that's how it felt when I cried through this book. I honestly didn't think I would cry. I was like, is this book going to make me cry? Is it really going to, is it all the hype about? And I really wanted a book to make me cry, so it did not disappoint in that respect. In books, I don't want to give away spoilers, but I will just give you a quick synopsis that I think won't spoil the book for you. So in 1,000 Boy Kisses, we follow the story of Poppy and Rune. They meet at quite a young age and they become fast friends. We then follow them through their journey of becoming lovers and then splitting up, heartbreakingly so, and then coming back together for a second chance where all things have changed. There is, I guess, an idea of soulmates and destiny throughout this book and whether or not someone is meant to be with you for life. Love that about this book. So 1,000 Boy Kisses was my first book of the year, and it did not disappoint. It was a 5-star read for me. Definitely put it on your to-read list if you have not already and you feel like crying. So next up, I read a book on Kindle Unlimited, and we have Mine Would Be You by Kay Jamela. This was a book that was recommended by Larry Reads on YouTube, and I trust her with my soul. Unfortunately, this book didn't hit for me, but that's just me. I felt like I was left empty, wanting more, and I was so hyped about it because it was like bold type vibes, New York City. I was just so excited about it. So in this book, you follow Valentina and Jackson, and it's a reverse Grumpy Sunshine. He's golden retriever energy. She's been hurt and you're uncovering, I guess, what happened in a past relationship to make her so against men or opening herself up emotionally to other relationships, which I just found that I couldn't relate to. I'm very, very much someone who has my heart that's open constantly, so I couldn't relate with the female main character. I also felt like the drama that was there or the potential to really go deeper on the plot wasn't available, and it kind of made you think you were going to get more, but you didn't. So for me, Mine Would Be You was a 2.5 stars. Just a reminder that all of my reviews and my opinions are my own, and it has nothing to say with the author if they're not good enough. I'm just keeping it real. So I went from a high and went to my lowest of the month. Next up, though, we had Beach Read by Emily Henry. I feel like I'm a bit late to the party. This was a buddy read with Julia, and I was so excited to be reading this one with her. I feel like this book can confuse you, though, because I was sure confused. It's called Beach Read, but it's not a beach read. This book follows January and Augustus. They're two authors who are kind of rivals, enemies to lovers trope, opposites attract kind of energy. I really enjoyed following their journey and being unraveled in this bookish world. So basically, Summer and Augustus, they start a writing challenge and you follow them, and it's exciting, and they're like next door neighbors. This is just a bookish book about bookish people, and I loved it. The settings of book clubs, the setting of writing, lake house, uncovering family drama, cheating, just discovering love and finding love, and it's just chef's kiss. This one I gave it a 4.75 rating, so close to a 5-star. The only issue is it's forgettable. Like, I forget things that happen in this book. So that's why. Okay, so here's the trend. Another book on Kindle Unlimited. I tend to go paperback, Kindle Unlimited, paperback, Kindle Unlimited. So it's a bit of a table tennis. I read Flawless by Elise Silva. Now, this one I'd been recommending for quite some time on my Instagram, so I thought it's about time that I actually read the series. So basically on my Instagram, I recommend books on Kindle Unlimited that are popular fiction with 4 and above star rating on Goodreads. So obviously I need to read it myself. With Flawless, it's a series. It's number 1 in the Chestnut Springs series. I'm most excited about the second book in the series because it's Single Dad Small Town Romance Trope, which is my favorite. But in this book, we followed the story of Summer and Rhett, and we have some enemies to lovers again. And we follow their workplace romance-esque forced proximity, only one bed tropes, country vibes, very nostalgic for me because I'm a country girl at heart. I come from the country. I grew up on a farm. So I felt like that was very like chef's kiss to the writing in terms of keeping it real. But it was also the part that I couldn't take was the smut and how Rhett would speak to Summer. And I didn't get that. It wasn't for me, that part. Just that was the only thing that I would change. So that one got a 4.5 stars, but I did really enjoy it. I'm looking forward to the rest of the series. Okay. Moving on. The next physical book that I read was The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. Also late to the party on this. There is a lot of paperback fiction that I haven't read because I've been so caught up in Kindle Unlimited. So I'm catching up here. I'm catching up with you guys in the physical copy of books. Okay. So in The Thursday Murder Club, we follow 4 unlikely friends in retirement. Their names are Elizabeth, Joyce, Ibrahim, and Ron. And they're basically uncovering cold cases and trying to discover murderers with their friends. I found this one really hard to read because whenever you read a stream of consciousness, mystery, unreliable narrative fiction novel, it can be really hard to read quickly because you don't know how much information is like fact or like you need to know this to work out what the mystery is. But I guess when you come to the second part of this book, it just speeds up a lot and it becomes a faster read and it's more intriguing and engaging and you've like got to know, you can't stop reading. But the first half of this book was just like, I can't handle this third person narrator. I can't handle how slow it is. And I'm never going to finish this book. That's what it felt like. So outside of that, I feel like, you know, it was a mystery that you couldn't guess, even though you were trying to guess it. But in the best of ways. And I enjoyed how it ended, but I only gave it 3 stars. I often recommend this book to people who liked Only Murders in the Building, but it was kind of a little bit off. Like I would rather watch the series than read the book. Yes. Next, we had my most favorite read of January, and that was, it's not here, it's here, it's here. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Now this one, I'd been putting this off for ages. I just didn't want to read it because so many people had DNF'd it or said that it wasn't good, the writing was horrible, blah, blah, blah. But obviously my friend, my bestie on Instagram, Julia, had recommended it to me as her favorite book, so I couldn't say no forever. And January was the month that I read it. So basically in The Cruel Prince, we followed Jude and her twin sister, but it's based off Jude's story and how they enter fairy into a fae world from the human world. I don't want to give spoilers, even though it's uncovered in the first chapter, but basically you're following this story and how they got there, and what they want to achieve in their lives and how their lives have changed since going from the human world to this fairy world. And it's a bit of a bully romance. You know, there's a lot of conflict and obviously you get that with fantasy novels, but it's such good young adult fiction. I'm so excited. I'm currently reading the next book, but when I first started reading it, I was actually getting like Harry Potter-esque vibes. I'm like, why are they running through a wall? Like, That's Harry Potter. And like, why are they getting picked up by a man? That's Harry Potter. Anyway, very much correlated Harry Potter to The Cruel Prince. But anyway, it was a 5-star, obviously favorite book, 5-star read. And thank you, Julia, for that recommendation. And then I read Local Woman Missing. It is a thriller mystery story of which you follow, I guess, a cold case from time jumping, multiple point of views, where you uncover the first, I guess, mystery of Shelby, and then you uncover the mystery of a missing girl, and then her mother, and then how they all link together, which is really quite interesting. And the author, Mary, does a fantastic job of giving you seeds of information that make you really wonder, is this what happens? And it was pretty traumatic. Like one of the chapters, I was like, wow, this is a lot. So child abuse or any birth trauma, trigger warning for this book. However, it was unputdownable towards the end, and I give this book 3.5 stars. So that's my January Reads wrap up. Thank you for staying to the end. If you have, please consider subscribing. I'll be bringing more content to you every week on books, obviously. Please head on over to my Instagram, where I talk all things Kindle Unlimited, recommend popular fiction books. I literally have your TBR sorted. Apart from that, comment below what you read in January and what books I need to add to my TBR for the rest of the year. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.